Economies operate in cycles. They go through booms and busts, expansions and recessions. Therefore, crises should not come as a surprise. While most believe that expansionary monetary policy helps ease crises, the Austrian school begs to differ. Austrian school economists argue that central banks don't help in smoothing the amplitude of the cycles, but rather are the cause of the cycles. In this micro-documentary, we look back at 4 major busts in the last 100 years and explain how central banks created them. We also clarify why we believe the next bust is just around the corner. This video will not explain the mainstream view, but rather the view of the Austrian business cycle theory, or ABCT. Austrian economists argue that business cycles are a direct cause of excessive credit flow into the market. This is facilitated by an intentionally low interest rate set by the government. This situation gives the false impression that money originally saved for investment has increased and the pool of investable funds is bigger. This creates an illusion and leads to misallocation of investments or malinvestments. Case 4. The global financial crisis. The foundation for the global financial crisis was set right after the recovery from the dot-com bust. Where are we in the current cycle? Today's policy is considered the largest monetary easing in history. We cannot pinpoint our position in the cycle, but we believe that if it weren't for state intervention in 2007-2008, the correction would have been hard but short. Bailouts, quantitative easing, stimulus programs, the names differ, but all offer the same temporary fix by injecting more cash into the system. We believe we are quite advanced in this cycle. The chart shows 3 lines. The straight line indicates GDP growth over time if there were no credit-induced growth. The other 2 lines show the short-term and long-term business cycles. We believe that the recessions discussed in this video all fall into the category of short-term cycles. We also believe that we have been in a booming phase in the long-term economic cycle since 1971, when Nixon closed the gold window. But we are reaching the boom phase of this long-term cycle, meaning we are approaching a devastating bust. Pinpointing the tipping point is impossible. This cycle can easily continue for some years. Looking at where we stand in the short-term cycle, we think that we are approaching a top as well, possibly not the last one before the devastating bust. In a bust scenario, people flee down the pyramid to their safe haven, being gold. When this bust occurs, we consider physical gold, stored outside the banking system, a precious counterbalance to other asset classes. Holding a scarce asset with absolutely no counterparty risk affords investors a hedge against a crisis. It offers a much-needed safety net when the banking system and all that it is based on fails. Are you prepared?